Here we are on another Friday, yes gang, the end of the week. Welcome along, Friday the 29th of May 2020. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk on yet another nice day. The weather just keeps coming, darlings. The weather just keeps coming along, doesn't it? I'm very pleased to announce that I've just weighed myself this morning as well. Still stable, 13 stone 7. So I must be doing something right, mustn't I? Let's see shall we say a quick hello to people who are here this morning? Where are we now? Oh, that's quite... Mandy, morning from the queue of the recycling centre. Is that where you are this morning, Mandy? She's up there at the queue. I'm looking with the social distancing, my darling. Barry Manilow and myself are very lucky when it comes to social distancing because we just use our noses, you see. If anyone gets sort of close to the tip of my nose, I am able to say, please stand back immediately. Although I gather I have looked extensively in the government guidance, boys and girls, and it doesn't say about at what point should be the 2 metres. I'm surprised someone with limited brain intelligence hasn't asked one of them at their daily briefings that one, you know? I mean, the questions that come out, you couldn't make up half the questions of the thickos, which incidentally are the reporters, the thicko questions that these people are asking whichever person is doing that daily briefing thing. You know, why hasn't someone said, could you just excuse me, whoever, excuse me, Dominic. Excuse me, Dominic. Could you tell me? Hello, come back. Oh, hello. Oh, he's gone on holiday. You going where? For a walk? Oh, okay. Oh, well, we can't do that then. I'm surprised someone hasn't asked them, at what point of our body do we have to measure the 2 metres? You know, because, I mean, people really are that thick. They need to be held hands and told what to... Oh, we don't want the nanny state, but when it comes to something, they can't make up their own minds. Thick as planks, all of them, dear. Morning to Mandy. What are you recycling? Mandy, are you recycling your husband for something better? I do hope so, much. It's not hard to find, is it? Be honest. It's not hard to find something better. Morning to Michael Pullman in Australia. James Humble. Everyone nice and early today. Jason Hughes. There's Rachel. Andy. Good morning. Colin Kay. Hello to you, sir. There's Mick. He's at the Bristol Recycling. Are you ready to be dumped, Mick? Mick is about to be dumped. At the recycling centre. Well, I wonder which section you go in. Gardening waste, rubble, general waste, small electrical items, large electrical items, wood, paper. What about that bit where you pour the excessive paint? My mate went to that last year. This was. He went to the waste recycling with several tins of unwanted half-used paint. Right. This is of no word of a lie. This is at the Bracknell what do you call it? Recycling place. So he gets there with his tins of paint, and you can't just drop the tins there. You have to pour them in to some container, literally. And then the paint gets left there, and I think you put the tins in the waste metal, you know, the metal recycling bit. So he's pouring these paint things into this big container, and over comes one of the council workers, which are pleasant at the best of times, little orange jacket, you know. Excuse me, sir, can I ask you how much of that you're putting in there? He says, oh, well, I've got about seven cans, or about half full. Oh, this is no word of a lie. And the bloke says to him, I'm afraid you can only dump, I can't remember what the exact figure is, 10 litres at a time. And he said, oh, well, I'm not sure what I've got. And the bloke says to him, well, don't worry, I'll stand there and I'll let you know when I think you've done 10 litres. This is, oh, that blooming alarm, just a minute. Alexa, stop. She always starts talking at 9:15. I keep forgetting to turn that off. So he's literally opening one can after, you know, with a screwdriver under the thing to flip the lid. He's pouring this thing. And the bloke says to him, He said, I think that's about 10 litres now. Oh, right. Well, what do I do with the rest? You can come back tomorrow. I mean, it's the stupidity of it, isn't it? People are so blooming stupid. So we had to put the other, maybe 2 cans, not many, 2 tins of paint back in the car and come back the next day to dispose of those in exactly the same way, in the same container, which still wasn't full up yet. I don't get it. People are so stupid. It's unbelievable. Who else is here this morning? Scrolling down, does take me to get a little way from. Good morning to Charlie Ray. Good morning, up nice and early, Charlie. Will you be doing TikTok videos today, Charlie? We want to see some more TikTok videos from you there. Sorry, gang, I'll have to scroll down. Too many there. He's been in the queue since 7 o'clock. I know where you're coming from there. I know where you're coming from there with that queue. We just got a couple of super chats coming in this morning. First of all, from Adam the Plumber. Thank you, Adam. Could you sing Tie Yellow Ribbon? What is this, like, request? Am I doing a, like, daily request song now? Am I? Is that what it is? Thank you for the tip, Adam. Let me give you 2 free raffle tickets this morning, as you've sent me a tip. 331, Adam. Do you want it with the music? There we go. I'll have to find a piano version of that first, I'm afraid. There you go, Adam. Right, what are these tickets for? I'll tell you in a minute. There you go. Put them in the United Kingdom Talk Super Chatters Ticket Retention Unit, which is that there. The plant's gone. That's gone back on the window now instantly. And Andy is desperate for the pie, aren't you? He's desperate for the pie. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about, so I'll explain all in a moment or two. Thank you for the tip, Andy. And Adam there as well. I'll have to have a look for a version of Tie a Yellow Ribbon now. Do you want me to do that early, or shall I do it a little bit later? We've got so much to talk about here. There's always lots to talk about, as you well know. There you go, Andy. 4 free raffle tickets for you. In exchange, as a thank you for the tip this morning. What are these coming in for? Well, some people like to send a tip now and again. 2 people this morning, so thank you very much for those. And on Thursday mornings, we do have a Super Chatters raffle. So anyone who's got a free raffle ticket for the Super Chatters, okay, goes in the draw and you win a prize. This week it was one of our brand new exclusive mugs. Don't worry, we'll have another one in that Super Chatter raffle at some point, okay? You can also win one of those on the bingo on Sunday nights. Afraid I can't add anyone extra to the bingo at the moment, all right? That's full up. But this week's Super Chatter raffles is for the bunting at the back there. There's actually, you can't see that. There's actually 2 more flags that you got. I think 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's another one above the clock there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually 6 flags on that one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, there's 7. There's actually 7 flags along there. So it's for that. One of our brand new Super Chatter pens. That. Okay. It's for that. And for Andy, it's for that as well. They're the prizes on this week's next week's Super Chatter raffle. All right, just in case you were wondering there. Excuse me. Didn't take. Is your chat playing up already? Oh, isn't it awful? It's so annoying. Good morning to George Bond this morning. Dan S. Morning to Dan. Morning to you, sir. Michael Lawrence, hello to you. Daniel Woodhouse is present in house, as is Adrian Richardson. And excellent. Excellent. I write the songs. Oh, no. Well, you can only have 1 song a day, darling. It's too much for me to sing. It's just too much for me to do 2 songs at the same time. It really is. So Tie a Yellow Ribbon. Right, songs. Thank you very much. I've also got some photographs to show you, which I'll exchange for likes. We got photographs this morning of... I did have a little bit of a problem with one of the pictures, actually. Let me just check which one I've got there. Okay, I managed to get Mandy's one. Hang on, let me see if I can do it while you're there. I couldn't get this to go earlier. It might work now. I've definitely got a picture from Mandy. Mixed ones were either in... Oh, there they are. It's there now. 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Right, I've got pictures to show you this morning of some more of Mandy's cakes. Not only the Mandy's cakes, we've also got mixed cream horns to show you this morning, boys and girls. So we got Mandy's delicious looking cakes and mixed delicious looking cream horns. And to see those this morning, I will require 20 likes. We've got 4 so far, so not far to go. 20 likes, and I'll show you those pictures this morning. Good morning to you, Russ V as well. Talking of the new Super Chatter pens, well, not Super Chatter, the winner pens, you can also win these on the bingo, okay? First and second line prizes and main prize as well. I might give 2 of these for a main prize. But these are quite nice. These are not just printed on, these are engraved, okay? These are engraved and they are metal. And they're the new pens. Honestly, so the bill came, which I paid instantly. That was on Wednesday. Was it on Wednesday? What's it today? Friday. That was on Wednesday. So the bill for the pen came, which I paid straight away. And about an hour after that, the phone starts ringing. And it was them. Clearly a salesman of some sort, trying to sell me other stuff. Well, I'm just a small... Well, I'm not an organiser. He said, what are you, a large business? I said, no, I'm just a bloke on my own, sitting in a little room that chats. I do YouTube shows. He said, oh, we've got quite a few thousand people watch the show. I said, well, in the grand scheme of looking at all the shows, yes, there is tens of thousands of people that have seen the shows. But each individual show, you know, we're lucky to get a couple of hundred, aren't we? 150 maybe, over the live and the recorded. We're lucky to get 150. Oh, I know a bloke just like you. He started giving away torches. So then he's trying to tell me about the special deal that they're now offering because I'm now a new customer and I can get so much % off. Oh, God, and on and on and on. He was on the blooming phone, he was. I said, well, send us an email and have a look. He said, well, I can take your order now. You won't have to pay until September and the goods will come out to you in August. I said, no, I'll have a look at the email. Oh, one of those, you know, on and on. One of those people that sell double glazed windows. He sounded like one of those. You know what you used to see on Watchdog? When they used to seek out elderly people. And they used to get in the door, sit down, and they wouldn't go until someone signed something. He was just like that. On and on and on. Anyway, eventually I managed to get rid of him. He called the next day, and he called twice the day after. I've now blocked the number. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It's so annoying, isn't it? On and on and on. I never asked you to ring. Why are you ringing me trying to sell more stuff? Ain't going to happen, mate. I come to you. That's how I work. Morning to Colin Coates. I come to you. Thank you very much. Won't be selling anything that I don't want. Anyway, so that's the pens. What else have we got here this morning? I put that bike seat on yesterday. Do you know, I don't know if I'm getting on with that or not. The bike seat, the one I got from Audi, it's like a comfort seat, they call it. And basically, you put it over the saddle that you've got already, and it says it's got memory foam. And when you do that, you know, it does feel quite soft. Number one, it seems to have raised me up a little bit. You raise me up, something on highest mountains. That, yeah. It seems to have raised me up a bit. And it just feels a bit odd under my bum. I don't know if it's better or not. It might be something that I just have to get used to. But I'll let you know how we go with it. I did have it on yesterday on my bike when I popped down to the sorting office and posted off Mark's mug that he won yesterday. Fortunately, I had a little label. I wrote to him and he said, yeah, I'm so happy to have won the mug. And then I asked him for his address and it wasn't forthcoming. Fortunately, I found an extra label that I'd printed off. Sometimes I push the label button on the machine and 2 comes out. I think I'm just a bit heavy-handed with my thumb, really. So I've got a little box here. Got people's various labels here, extra labels that have accidentally got printed off here. There's one here for Mike Reese-Ponto. Yeah, Lee Toby's got one. Sean Pye's got one. There's loads of them in here. And I kind of hope that these people will win again so that I can use the label and it's not wasted. Who else have we got here? Who's Mike Smith? I don't know who that is, Mike. Is Mike Smith there? Lee Toby's. There's another one for Lee Toby. Tony King. I've got all these labels here. Simon. Oh, I blocked him. We can get rid of that one. That's the one who insulted my work. There's another one for Sean Pye. Even one for Michael Lawrence here. So any of those people, please try hard to win so that I can use these excessive labels. I do hate waste. I do hate waste. Sean, have you tried putting the saddle on the bike? I find it a much more pleasurable experience as a gay man to actually remove the saddle while I'm on that. A little bit painful sometimes if you go over a bump, but that's just how it is. Very good morning to Dave Moses. I've got an old bike for sale. That's not a nice way to talk about one of your exes, Dave. What a cruel man you are. And we've got people like you running media. I'm not surprised. You'd be one of those people that are asking stupid questions at the government daily press briefings, I reckon, Dave Moses. He would, wouldn't he? Oh, thank you, Prime Minister. Can I ask you, would it be safe to continue to eat oranges while the coronavirus is at its worst? And please, could you give us a demonstration of how we should now eat an orange? And don't forget, look all angry while you're interviewing. The state of journalism in this country is just dreadful now. Shouting and screaming the same question over and over again. It's like watching this show. It really is. Dave is going to set an old bike for sale, £50. I'll send you my bank details so that you can now make the payment. You sound like that programme, Phone Jacker. Do you remember that? Phone Jacker. When the bloke was pretending to be a bank, wasn't it? Hello. I can't do an accent, really. Hello, he says. Hello, there is a pigeon in your box. May I have your bank details and we will remove the pigeon and put your money in another box. Do you remember that? Phone Jacker. Excellent programme. Morning to Claire L. Just joining us there. Morning to you, Claire. Good. Right. So how are we doing with the likes at the moment? We've got 10 likes at the moment. 20 likes. Oh, did I say 20 or 15? I think I said 20. 20 likes and I'll show you Mick and Mandy's beautiful cake pictures this morning. The likes to the little thumbs up underneath the video screen. So just hit the thumbs up and when we get to 20, I'll show you the pictures. So I'll let you know how I get on with that bike seat. I'm not 100% sure whether I like that or not. Good morning to Amelia this morning. I've got another bite on my blooming leg. I'm going to have to get some more bite stuff. Now, I'm using this one at the moment, but I've got this dreadful feeling it's way out of date. I found it in the top drawer of my bedside cabinet, along with many, many other items in there, which sadly never got used and are out of date. But that's what happens as you get older, unfortunately. Now, what is this one? So this is Urax. Stops itching fast. I have to be so careful that you don't pick up the special thing that they've got for ladies, because I have a special cream for ladies that stops itching fast as well that I noticed once when I was in Boots the Chemist. Oh, there is a date on it. Hang on a minute. What's this say on here? Oh, hang on a minute. Just a minute. Is it? Surely not. 07/11/07. Honest. Oh, I don't know if you're going to see. Yes, you might just be able to see that. 11/07/07, and I've put this on my bites. I think this might be out of date. No wonder it's not working very well. And of course, it always seems to be that these bites you start noticing them not after the attack of the various flies and things that attack us, but much later on when you get in bed. I thought, I've got an itch on my leg, and then you can feel the bump, can't you? I try and scratch around the bump because you don't want to damage that. You get terrible infections getting in there. I scratch around it, so I leaned over into this and I found this in my cupboard, and I thought I'll put some of that on it. But this is like 13 years out of date. I mean, what happens to this stuff when it goes out of date? Does it become potent and start maybe a hole in my leg by the end of the show? I could be bleeding to death now. No one would care anyway. I won't be missed when I'm gone, will I? No one would care. Good morning to Paul and Lou joining us this morning. Morning to you, Paul and Lou. So that's a bite. I must get. Can you order this stuff on the Amazon? Itching cream, bite stuff. stuff like that, because we don't want to be going into Boots the Chemist or any other shops, do we? Although I did have to go into the post office yesterday. You may remember I had some United Kingdom Talk T-shirts, these things. I had some of these done for my great nieces and great nephews. And the idea was I would bring them up when the caravan reopens, which would have been April. And my niece would have been up there as well around that period, because we were all off going to go to Euro Disney. Well, all that got cancelled. Then we couldn't move around. So they've been stuck here ever since. And I thought, well, this is silly, because the children grow so quickly, don't they, little children? They grow up so quickly. So I thought I better. But good morning to Heidi Young. Morning, Heidi. They grow up so quickly. Heidi's got a caravan on my site as well. So I thought I better send them in the post. So I had to go down to the post office for those. Not so much for my nephew's family, because I've put those in the post box. That's all right. I think the sizes are a little bit wrong on one. They're all 7 to 8. All of his ones are 7 to 8, because I looked at them and various sizes were given to me, but for some reason I've got a lot of 7 to 8 ones, and I thought, well, who's got the sort of largest kids? Not fat, you know what I mean, largest. And that would be my nephews, because I think Harry's quite big, Evie's very tall, and Olivia is quite big. So I thought to myself, well, I'll give them the larger ones, because Olivia and perhaps Harry as well, they can always wear them as night shirts, you know? If they're too big, can't they? They could just wear them as night shirts and that sort of thing. But the others I had to send off to Cyprus. Now, my niece is in Cyprus. She's with an RAF bloke, and they're on like an RAF camp on Cyprus, Aquateria or something, whatever it's called like that. And if you want to send something to someone who's in the forces, you get wherever it is in the world. I think it depends where, but most places, I believe, you can send them at normal post office rates. So I haven't got to go on and get an international parcel, which is a lot more expensive. You know, I mean, that's the funny thing is, you know, when someone wins a pen on the bingo in America, right, it costs about £5 to send that pen there. It's mad, isn't it? But to send a parcel to someone who's in the Army, RAF, Navy, I suppose, who's on a base somewhere, you get to send it at the normal British rate. So it was like a couple of quid. But you have to do that at the post office. You can't get a print off online for that, unfortunately. But there you are, one of those things. Adam, is the text box playing up at the moment? Yes, indeed it is. Oh, that's a good point. Yes, you might email as well. Email and text. I don't know why the chat box is having such a problem at the moment. It doesn't seem to be affecting everyone, Adam. It's not affecting everyone. It affects me, Mick, I think Michael Pullman as well. And so we don't quite know what's going on there. Not all chats are working for everyone. Yeah, not all chats are working for everyone. Good morning to DSL D2 as well. DSLDG2. What does that stand for, anything at all? I hope it's nothing rude. Nothing rude, is it? So that was my little visit to the post office yesterday with my mask on. Big queue for Audi yesterday. Glad I didn't have to write there. Are there extra flies around or something? Everywhere I seem to see these tiny little black flies everywhere. I think that's what's biting my legs. Little black flies. That's the trouble with these things. You feel it land, and then you look and you see it, and then you quickly smash it over the head with your hand. But I think it's too late at that point. I think you have to be really quick to stop a gnat biting you, or if you can. I always assumed, you know, they'd fly down and then they'd land and look for somewhere to poke their poking bit into your skin. But I think it must just happen as soon as they land, because I am on it fairly quickly. Yes, indeed. British Forces Post Office, is that what it's called? Yeah. Yeah, so you just pay normal rates to send anything there. I've got a bit of gardening to do. My wisteria, Claire, needs training, really. It's now got to the end of the house and it's kind of poking forward. It's just kind of floating about like that, looking for something to cling on to. My mate told me, so if it's got to the end, you can then train it up to go back the other way again. So I might try and do that at some point. Also, where the wisteria is, it's come out of the wall and it's hanging like that. And I'm not quite sure what to do, really. it's kind of, it's gone a bit wood there, but it's all green. And to pull it back, I would be putting the branch under strain, kind of like if I was to let it go, it would spring back out again. So I'm not quite sure how to do that. Whether or not you should just leave it, or I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to get a garden. I take quite a lot of pleasure doing the garden stuff myself. I also bought a new peony. You know the thing, Rachel. You know that one I sent you the picture of the other day. Yep, I ordered one and it came. So that's going in today. I might put that in a large pot, that one. Adrian, if the gnat's biting you until blood is too sweet, it must be too many cakes you're eating. You must be joking. I haven't had a cake for ages, Adrian. I haven't had a cake for months. Honest. I've had no cake for ages. Absolutely ages. Poor old Mick. How long has he been waiting in that queue now? 5 hours. Oh, 2 hours. 2 hours and 5 minutes. Gosh. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot of time. 2 hours and 5 minutes to be waiting in that queue to dump stuff. No wonder stuff gets dumped everywhere. Our council, we've got a bit of a problem with fly tipping at the moment. And we've had this problem ever since they introduced various charges to dump this, that and the other. You know, I think you have to pay, I think it's £5 now to dump a toilet. I'm sure it's fun. I dumped a toilet somewhere. Where was it? I think it was in... it came out the caravan. I dumped a toilet. I had to take it to the thing, and where do I put this? Oh, it's £5 for that, please. Sorry? Which I paid, I paid and done with it. Other people wouldn't do that, you'd see. They'd stop the van somewhere, push it out the back, and carry on. How do you know? Mind you, I suppose they could get the swabs, couldn't they? They could get little cotton wool buds and swab around the toilet and match it up with someone's DNA that's come out of them. What an awful thought. How would they know? They'd have to have little detector units in the pipes of people's toilets so that they would know what's come out of you and what is corresponding with that toilet that you've just dumped out on someone's garden or the road or somewhere like that. And they have a charge for rubble. I don't think they have a charge for garden waste. But with garden waste, I don't know about garden waste really, because I feel that if like grass and stuff like that, if you chop it up properly, you can just spread that, can't you, on your lawn or something like that, or around the plants presumably, can't you? I would imagine. Well, that's what I do anyway. I don't have that, that grass box. I don't have that on anymore. I take that off, so the grass is cut and it flies out the back, usually all over my legs. Flies out the back and then just lays on the grass and disappears somewhere. I don't know where it is. Although if the grass was really long, it might be a bit of a problem, wouldn't it? Rachel says, my peonies came out yesterday. They are pink with yellow middle. Yeah, that's the one I've just ordered. It's downstairs now waiting to be planted on my recent Amazon delivery. Oh, yes. We've had another Amazon delivery. I now get... Got to tell you this. Does anyone else have this problem as well? I now get Amazon anxiety. Does anyone get that? Amazon anxiety. Anyone get Amazon anxiety? Do you know what Amazon anxiety is? It's a new phrase. It was a new phrase actually thought up by my mate's other half, Andy. Amazon anxiety. Amazon anxiety is where you go through almost a whole day without getting a box from Amazon. I can't stand it. I hate it. I have to have at least one small box from Amazon being delivered here every day. It's worrying, that, isn't it? Doesn't matter what it is, really. Sometimes I just go on the computer randomly and I bring up the Amazon thing and I move the mouse up and down and I click. And then I look, I know where the corner of the screen is, and I look at the corner of the screen where the close button is, and I quickly close it, right? So I've just done an Amazon one-click ordering. And then, the next day, a box arrived, and I've got no idea what it is. Fabulous. How exciting. Amazon anxiety. That's where you don't receive Amazon boxes for a whole day. It's terrible. Terrible. So much fun. Does anyone get that? Amazon anxiety. What did I get yesterday? I got another thing of I got my No More Nails exterior, which has now arrived, so I can put my tiles back on the wall that fell off the other day. The ones that I put up, I had these tiles, and they were just under the shelf. No one was seeing them, and I thought, well, they're waste there. I'm going to put them on the side of my house. Like I've already got some up there, which are like as strong as nails. They won't come off. But I put these other ones up, and I taped them up, a couple of nails underneath to hold the weight while it was drying. Left them 24 hours. As I took the nail off, one fell straight off again. That's about the limit of my DIY. Doesn't work. Then the other ones, I thought, I wonder if these have stuck. So without removing the nails underneath them, I pulled them and they came straight off the wall. But I did note that I'd used internal No More Nails instead of external. So I've got the external one now. So I'll be doing that hopefully at some point today after my mega walk. Should be going walking over the forest later. So that arrived, my peony arrived, and something else. What was the other thing? Something else arrived as well. I had 3 packages yesterday. 3 packages yesterday. Wonderful, dear. Who gets Amazon anxiety? I want to know. Claire, her cucumber has grown to the top of her conservatory roof. Don't know whether to let it grow sideways along the roof or put the pot on the floor. Advice, please. Clings to the stick with little tendrils. I would have it going along the floor, Claire, I think. When I did it, I've done cucumbers a couple of times. The very first time was 16. I used to grow all plants along my mum's balcony, tomatoes, cucumbers and all this business. And the cucumbers laid on the floor. But you must make sure you're not getting loads of things crawling on the floor because they might try and eat your cucumbers. Like the magpie that keeps coming down into my garden. Cheeky git that is. I don't know if it's the same one all the time, Claire. This magpie, usually while I'm having dinner, will land in my garden and then it hops. They hop, didn't they? It hops over. No, I'm not sitting on anything. No, why? Oh, don't be rude. It hops over to this bird bath thing and starts drinking. Don't have a bath in it. It starts drinking out of it. And the water's dirty. Okay, the water's been there a while. But I've learned from this, if you change the water and it's all nice clean water, they don't come over. They wait for it to get dirty. If I change the water in that thing, won't go near it. Isn't it funny? Cats are the same. How many times have you put a bowl of water down for a cat and there's a dirty old puddle? It goes over to the dirty puddle, doesn't it? This is why so many cats are killed with antifreeze. Stupid people doing things to their car, letting the antifreeze go out, forming a puddle and not clearing it up. Cat comes along. Oh, that tastes nice. Dies of kidney failure. Very serious, that is. This magpie, I was having my dinner the other day. It's hopped over, right? It stands there, has a bit of a drink, and then goes over and sits, literally sits, underneath one of my plants. Then it got up again and started hopping over to the thing. It then noticed my kitchen door was open. I think I had the front door open and the kitchen door. Well, it's hopped inside to have a look around. Magpie, nosy git. And I've come behind it. I said, what are you doing? And it's hopped through the house and out the other door. Cheek. Not even paying rent. Shocking. I would have it on the floor, Claire. Good morning to Shania. Nice to see Shania there. Head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight. Very, very disappointed to see that Mike Rees-Ponto has got artificial glass. Oh, Mike. Do you know, I had such a high regard for you until I saw this message. And I've known you for some months now. I'm so disappointed. Artificial grass. How absolutely ghastly. There's ass that I go past sometimes when I'm visiting another post box. I could draw a map of post boxes around here. I like to choose a different one because I get fed up walking the same route, you see. And one of them is about half an hour's walk, so I include this other one sometimes on part of my my daily exercise regime. I like to do a minimum of 1 hour's exercise a day by whatever method, either bike, swimming, cycling, something like that. I've set myself that, and I'm keeping up with it. I've been keeping up with that for some weeks now. I'm really pleased. I think that's what's keeping the weight, stopping the weight from going up. I was actually 13.6.7 this morning. So I'm reasonably pleased with that. It has held at that, and I think it's because of all the walking and cycling I'm doing. But one house I go past, and they're terraced houses, so you've got all these various different gardens, and people are very proud of their gardens, aren't they? You know, when you walk around, Heidi Young, who's with us this morning, will tell you the caravan site that I'm on is very personal. Everyone's got their own little garden and different designs. I'm desperate to get up there because I know I need my caravan cleaned. You know, which is quite an easy thing. Soft brush and water, soapy water, just like that. You mustn't use a power thing on those because you can get in the seams and all that. Not good. Not good. And one of these houses, so you've got all these little gardens, rockeries and maybe flat, and then one of them has got artificial grass. It looks dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Artificial grass can look really good, I think. Would I ever have it? No, I don't think so. That being said, my niece in Cyprus, they've got artificial grass because it's so hot so that nothing grows there, unfortunately. Nothing grows there at all. Shame, isn't it? Paul and Lou saw Charlie Dimmock the other day cut some tree down on TV. It was scary for the clamour. Oh, yes, she's... Charlie Dimmock, dear. She's not looking like she used to, is she? Bless her. I did see her on the telly the other day. Will someone take her to a clothes shop, please? Charlie Dimmock, dear me. I know that you've got to wear old stuff to do gardening and that, but for Christ's sake, how old is some of this stuff she's wearing? Never mind. Good morning, Gary's British Talk Show. Hello to you. Sean puts the clean water down for the cats every day. Very sensible there. Very, very sensible. So yes, that's the fake grass outside someone's house. Awful. What else have we? I'm afraid my sister has refused to paint my cupboards. Very, very disappointed with that. She won't paint them because she said the colours will look terrible. I mean, I got bright green and I wanted yellow cupboards. And I wanted a bright orange hallway. Nope, she won't do it. She said it'll look terrible. So it may be that Chris Reardon DIY Services has to have a go at painting himself. That could be a really big mistake. On the other hand, if I really muck it up that badly, she'd come round and sort it out. So there we are. She won't do it. She says it'll look it'll look terrible, Chris. Mind you, she said the same about my green walls when I had it painted luminous green in there. She didn't like that, and when she'd finished doing it, she said, "Do you know what? I quite like the colour." There you go. We need yellow cupboards. I want it to look like one of those Barbadian houses. Anyone been to Barbados or a lot of Caribbean countries, or in American Caribbean, Caribbean English, Caribbean American? You know when you go to these places and all the houses are bright, bright colours. Oh, beautiful. Yes, please. Not like here. You know, brown and grey. Awful. We want bright colours. I've really personalised this house. You're going to have to like the house if you want to buy this off me at some point. Don't know when that would be. Heidi's missing her caravan. A few of artificial grass on the decking too. I've got that. Oh, you must know, Heidi. I've got that already. Good morning, Maureen. Morning, Maureen. I have artificial grass on the decking because you can't have grass on the decking. You've got to be careful with that, though. You've got to make sure that it's the porous one. Otherwise, it sinks in and your wood goes all rot, doesn't it? Your wood rots, doesn't it? Unless you've got one of those plastic ones, Heidi. I'm lucky I've got it is quite old, an old wooden veranda around my caravan. The only thing is, Heidi, with the plastic ones, they're noisy, aren't they? They squeak as you walk on them. I wish I could hear my bed squeaking occasionally and nothing happening there. Good. Right, so we've got that. What else have we done? So last night, went over to my mate's house last night, actually. We sat in the garden and he'd done us some dinner. Because usually he comes round here and I do him dinner. And we sit in the garden. We're being very careful on the touching and the social... Not that I would touch him. No, I don't think so, darling. That was 30 years ago. Never again. Oh, my God, no thank you. You know, I mean, he's almost my age. Why would I fancy someone my own age? I don't think so. Don't think so. No, that won't be happening. And so we're careful, and gel hands and all this business we're doing all the time. So that was quite nice. And we watched, it's back on the telly, Dynasty. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Except it's the new version of Dynasty on Netflix. I think it's series 3 or series 4. And I can't believe, I think it's about a year since we saw the end of the last series. I love it. And I've got to tell you, this series is even more unbelievable than the last series. You just can't believe that these things would happen on there. It's so absolutely outrageous and over the top. It's hilarious. With the funniest person in there has got to be Fallon Carrington. She is just so... Oh, she's very, very beautiful. Liz someone or other. She's absolutely stunning, this lady. She really is. And so that's back on the telly. And we enjoyed episode 1 of Dynasty, now available on the Netflix. And then last night I came back here and I washed my floor last night. How often do you wash your floors, incidentally? I don't mind. It's the second time since the lockdown. I don't mind telling you that. I just look at it. If it was dirty, if it looked dirty, I would clean it. I guarantee you. If it looked dirty, I would clean it. But it just doesn't look dirty. You know, and I clean it very, very rarely. So that's the second time in about, 8 weeks? It's nice to have it done. The only thing is it was late at night. It was about 11:30 at night. So I thought to myself, I don't want to put the Hoover on because it might, in case... I mean, the neighbour has never heard any noise from me. And similar the other way. We're very respectful of each other. So I didn't put the Hoover on, so I've just mopped it. And the floor now looks clean, but there's bits on it. So at some point this afternoon, I'll Hoover the floor as well there and see how we get on with that, all right? Was it Ronnie that came round to see you? He's all right, thank you. He's very well. Good. How are we doing on the likes this morning? Because we've got photos to show you this morning from Mick Davenport and Mandy Davenport of their latest baking escapades. We want 20 likes altogether to be able to show you those. We've got 11 at the moment, so still 9 to go. Hit the little thumbs up button under the screen. When we get to 20, I'll show you these wonderful pictures that kind people have been sending in, all right? Good. So that's it. Remote airplanes. Did any of you have one of those remote-controlled airplanes? I had a couple of boats. I don't think I ever had an airplane. I had a couple of boats, which always seemed to go out of range and then you'd lose them. And we used to use, my mum and dad used to take us to this, but when I was little, used to take me and my sister to this particular pond in Richmond Park, which was near Richmond Gate. Big pond there was. And we'd put my little boat in there. I don't know what my sister had. Whether she had a boat. Well, I don't think she had a boat, but I had this little remote control boat. And you put it in the water and then you move this little joystick forward. Hey, Dad, look, it's going like that. And it would start moving. This is back in the 70s. Push this on and you go to the right and to the left. And then you'd be on this for a while. And then it wouldn't respond anymore. And you'd lose the boat. It'd be somewhere in the middle of the lake and that's where it stayed. I think I lost a few like that. But did anyone have a remote control plane, like an electric plane or something like that? When we used to go on one of our regular Sunday afternoon outings, one of the places we used to go was Epsom Downs. And big open area. And often you'd see blokes over there, not with electric planes, but with petrol-driven little model planes, and they'd have their remote control thing there, and up they'd go. And they'd go ever so far. I was always amazed by these planes, and always a little bit worried, thinking, well, if my boat goes out of range, so this must happen to the planes as well. And then it would come crashing down on someone's head somewhere. And some of these planes were quite substantial, these little remote control... Oh, let me turn that blooming noise off. Sorry. Some of these planes were quite substantial, large things. Possibly perfect models of a particular type of aircraft that flies around. And they were quite noisy as well. Little engines of zzz, they go running along the grass and up they'd go. Fantastic. Sometimes I saw a couple of helicopters. Again, not these little ones that you get in the toy shop. Substantial sized helicopters would kill someone if it fell on someone's head. Did you have one of those? Any of you have a remote control plane? And I ask that because there's a story in the paper this morning about an electric plane. Oh, yes. We do like a bit of technology news here on the show. Up and away in the Daily Mail this morning. The world's largest all-electric aircraft made its maiden flight on Thursday as it flew for 30 minutes over Washington state, according to manufacturers. Now, this isn't a toy plane like I'm asking you about. This is an actual plane that people can go on. Amazing. A solo test pilot took off in the 9-seater plane, so he was on his own, and flew over a lake, followed by a small chase plane. To develop the plane, the team took a Cessna, they make a lot of planes, Cessna Grand Caravan, one of the most medium-range planes in the world, and retrofitted an electric engine. For the flight test, the electric plane took off and climbed to 2,500 feet, dropped to 1,000 feet, and then spent 25 minutes cruising over the large airport facility. Wow. Commentators watched the plane as it flew overhead and said it was barely making any noise at all, with a much smaller Cessna plane chasing it twice as loud. And there's a little video on there as well if you want to have a look at that in the Daily Mail. Called the E-Caravan, Magnix X, that's a company, hope to be able to have a commercially available version of the plane for sale next year with a 100-mile range. Wow. With nearly clear blue sky. I suppose eventually this would be automatic anyway, wouldn't it? You know, as a passenger, you'd probably just push a couple of buttons, tell it where you want, and off it would go. You wouldn't have to do anything. Therefore, would you need a license? Not a license, instruction on how to fly a plane. Probably not. You just go to the shop. Okay, if you want to go somewhere, just type in this. You want to go to Woodhall Spa? Okay, type in the postcode LN10, whatever the rest of it is, and push go, and off it would go. Up it would go, silently almost. And up 100 miles is probably a little bit too far, actually. I don't know, actually. In a straight line, it probably is 100 miles or less. It's only because you're in a car that it ends up being 140 miles, because you've got to go round there and up there and then up there that way. I bet in a straight line, Woodhall Spa to Bracknell to Woodhall Spa is probably about 100 miles. Can anyone find that out for us? Adam the plumber, you like to do those sort of things, one in exchange for singing your song. Tie yellow ribbon coming up later today, gang. Wonderful. It would just go up and then off it would go. It would avoid other planes, presumably. You know, it would all be programmed to do that in the future. We've been waiting for these electric planes now for years, tens of years, haven't we? Remember the little cartoon series where they had these little electric planes going everywhere? We thought we'd have those in 2000. But here we are, 20 years later, still not here yet, are they? We're waiting for the electric planes. It says, with nearly clear blue skies over the runway, a chase plane took off first using a traditional engine, followed by the new electric plane. Wonderful. Wonderful. I would like to get on one of those. I would like my own electric plane so that I can visit places much more quickly. Much more fun. Claire says, is it Pen Ponds in Richmond Park? Used to go there a lot with my partner when we first met. It could well be. Literally, you go in Richmond Gate, Claire, and it's on the left. You go down a little bit of a path, but it's almost, I think you can see it just about from the main road. I have a feeling, I think it's been filled in, you know, or I think it's been drained. I'm not quite sure, Claire. Next time I go down there, I'll have a look, because we can drive around now, can't we? Quite like to go to Richmond Park. The only thing is that blooming 20-mile-an-hour speed limit in there. God, how difficult is that to stick to? Oh, and they all do it in there, don't they? 20 mile an hour. And you get the cyclists. The cyclists are on the road. There are cycling paths all round Richmond Park. Oh no, the cyclists want to go on the road and they cycle in the middle of the road. Very, very annoying that is. Why don't they just go on the cycle paths? I do wonder sometimes why people bother building cycle paths when cyclists go on the road. Madness. Mike doesn't fancy electric planes. What happens when the battery goes flat? Well, the same as what would happen when your petrol runs out. You would check it first, wouldn't you, Mike? You'd check it first. And it'd tell you how far you can go. Same as a petrol tank. You know, you wouldn't go if it's nearly on empty. You just wouldn't go, would you? No, you'd know. You'd know. You'd know. That was the problem with electric cars. Why they couldn't sell those, because we knew when they first came out they would only do 40 miles. Well, that's no good to me, is it? Why would you buy a car that can do 40 miles? If the car says, this car, and a lot of the cars now, I think Honda are about to bring out an electric car as well. I think it's something like a 230 mile range. That would do me. 230 mile, that gives me plenty of scope to get there to my sister's or my caravan up north and have 100 miles to spare. You know, plenty. Because if it says 230, it's a bit like those speed things, isn't it? This car will do this, and, you know, you're not quite sure about that. Does it really? Well, under the best conditions that you could give it in a test place. If a car says it will do 200 mile on a charge, well, is that in winter? Is that in the coldest part of winter with the heating permanently on for the whole of the journey and your lights? Maybe your radio as well, if you're sort of one of these young people who likes loud blaring music, your extra amplifier attached to the battery. I doubt it'll do 200 mile then, mate. More likely 140. So you're in your own head. You've got to use a bit of common sense to sort of think, you know, is that going to do that or not there, I think. Rachel wants a remote-controlled helicopter so that she can visit her TikTok vans. Rachel is queen of TikTok on this channel, boys and girls. Queen of TikTok. Pen ponds are the two big ones in the middle. No, it won't be that one, Claire. Literally, as you come in the gate, it's on the left. So no, I know pen ponds. I do know pen ponds. It wasn't in there. Yes, I'm singing today. I have been requested and paid to sing today by two people, actually. Andy and Adam the plumber. Heidi, the plastic decking cost a fortune. I know, thousands. Not tens of thousands, but almost like, I've heard quotes of £5,000 for those plastic decking things. Why is that so dear? All it is a few bits of plastic. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it. You'd get a bloke down or a lady who knows what they're doing, wouldn't you? And they'd be able to knock it up in the space of a few minutes. Bit like washing windows, really. Isn't it? You know, for me to wash windows, mind you, not with my new Karcher machine. Oh, it's wonderful, dear. Quick sponge and with the Karcher machine sucks off all the water. Heidi, the plastic decking costs a fortune. Mine's wood, but it's a right state now. Some lovely soul did my front garden. Oh, that's nice. They're in isolation there and got fed up. I was worried about it. Yes. It's funny you should say that, Heidi. I did consider doing my isolation up there before we had the lockdown. If I had been up there, I could have done it up there. But you know what? I wouldn't have had anywhere near as many things to do as I have down here because all my stuff is here. Do you know what I mean? In my house, obviously. I could do shows, but that's about it. There wouldn't be any bingo. The raffle would come to an abrupt halt because I wouldn't have anything there. So I think I did the right thing staying here for my lockdown, absolutely. It's a holiday place, isn't it? It's a holiday place that I have been using more regular than normal people would sort of go on a holiday. But that's basically what it is, isn't it? You know, I love it up there. I am a professional singer. Thank you, Parknest, as I will prove in a moment or two. Let's do a couple of stories. This is awful. Daily Mirror. Now, if you've succumbed to this at some point in your lives, then my heart goes out to you. I know a few people that this has happened to. You know, where you've got your idyllic country cottage or home somewhere in a sort of quiet place, perhaps on its own or perhaps a little row of houses, and then you've got that beautiful view in front of you. And then one day you wake up and all this fence has appeared around this big view, and then the trucks move in. Why? Someone's bought the land to put up a housing estate. This nearly happened in my sister. Excuse me, I've got a bit of an itchy nose. This nearly happened in my sister, not at her front door. Not at her front door, but nevertheless quite near in Woodhall Spa, which is a small place, as you know, Heidi, and Rachel as well. The farmer was trying to sell a piece of land near the Abbey Lodge pub, and that was all going to be houses, but it got chucked out in the end, I think, by the council. Similar story here in the Daily Mirror today. Barbara and Simon Campbell of Grantham, which is also in Lincolnshire, not too far away from Woodhall Spa. And yourself there, Rachel, and Heidi, now fear their Grade 2 listed manor house could end up being virtually worthless. They've spent 20 years renovating this place. They fear it could be virtually worthless after plans were unveiled to build a new quarry next door. Now, I know quarries are there digging up stuff. Don't know how noisy. Don't know how noisy they are. Presumably, something like that would be quite dusty to have a quarry near you. Barbara and Simon bought the Grade 2 listed manor house with 15 acres of land for £270,000 in 1999. It's just imagine having 15 acres of land. Oh, I'd like that. All different plants. Nice big lawn, lots of different plants, and I'd have to have some trees there as well. I like trees. Given the choice, I'd probably rather live in a house or a little wooden shack in the middle of a forest rather than at the sea. Certainly, I would not want to live in a city ever again. No, thank you. Far too many people milling around, moaning, fighting, burglaries. No. Barbara and Simon bought the house at £270,000. Council bosses are now set to approve proposals for a quarry just 100 yards away to extract 1 million tonnes of sand. Wow. They're powerless due to planning permission dating back more than 50 years. The mum and dad said they were not made aware of the authorisation when they bought the derelict building. How sad is that? She says everything's been hunky-dory. We then discovered the field next to us has a dormant planning permission for a quarry. We couldn't believe it. The whole site's been covered by 2 planning applications, one dating back right the way back to 1954 and one to 1967. So has this happened to you? Do you know anyone who this has happened to? Tell us about it. The fact that this was effectively an existing quarry should have been available to us at the time we bought the property. It's unfair and lack of transparency that really gets to us. I mean, it's just awful. I thought you had to tell people about don't you have to tell people about things? If there's something wrong or with the house or that the land is on, or that you know something's coming up like a big, if you're in a flat, like a big service charge, perhaps they need to repair the roof or something like that. If you're selling a place, I'm pretty sure you have to tell the person who's buying it that, yes, you can buy this off us. Oh, by the way, next year you're going to have a bill for £10,000 for a new roof. And I think if you sell it and don't tell the person and they can prove that you knew, you know, if you've had a letter that come from the managing agent or something like that that says we're doing the roof and you didn't pass that on, and they went to the did you send them a letter? Yes. I think you then have to pay for them to have that roof done, as far as I understand anyway. But that's awful. They reckon they're worried about possible health implications such as cancer. Fears to be caused by the dust. Well, I don't know so much about that. I mean, it's just stuff that's coming out of the ground, isn't it? But it just awful. There'd be dust all over the windows, wouldn't there? Just dreadful. And a friend of mine, actually, him and his other half in Oxfordshire, somewhere in Oxfordshire, they got this little place, a row of houses it was. And I used to watch his posts come. He said, we are absolutely gutted. The land in front of us has just been fenced off and diggers have moved in. Must be absolutely horrendous, something like that. Lincolnshire Cathedral. You mean Lincoln Cathedral, Michael, which is in the town there, okay? Is your caravan the Lincoln Studio 2? It's not a caravan, that is correct. It is our Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex. Oh, Mick Davenport's having a little laugh there. Chris can't sing. God. Oh, Mick. There's a little bit of jealousy in that voice there, isn't there, of yours? Because you can't. I dread to think what you sound like. And like a cat's chorus out there. I hope we will be back there soon, Chris, Heidi. I just thought we might be able to move around when they start opening the shops, but still no. I mean, we can move around. I can go and visit it, but I can't stay there. We're not allowed to stay. Well, I mean, I think it was the news yesterday. They were saying you can go and visit people, but you can't stay in someone else's household, right? Now, My caravan is not someone else's household. It's part of my household, isn't it? Is that how you would see that? I've got a feeling we can actually go around now. I'm not 100% sure of this, but I wouldn't know who to ask. Who do you ask? Can you send a government an email saying, look, I've got a caravan. I don't have contact with anyone here or up there. Is it all right to go there? Because it is. It's not. They said you can't stay in someone else's household. You can go and visit them, but you can't stay there. Well, that's my household, isn't it? My caravan? I'm not sure. It is open, of course, as you well know. My sister popped over there the other day, actually, Heidi. And she goes up occasionally, when she's got a bit of time, kindly, to water the plants around the caravan. Because, of course, it's been so dry. So dry, isn't it? Funnily enough, I've also sent the keys up to... You know my sink, when I had my bathroom done last year? The sink came away from the wall. We're not quite sure how that happened, but it did. So they've got to go back and refix that. But I don't know when I was going to be there, so I popped over an email. I said, look, do you want me to send you the keys? It's not like there's anything to nick in there. You know, besides I trust the bloke anyway and his workmate. The bloke who does it is his son. So he said, if you want to, we've got a job in Skegness on Mondays. I think he's going to go over there Monday or Tuesday and do it, you know, because they come from quite a far away round. There you go. Sean, the aeroplanes will have a battery backup system consisting of a pack of AAA batteries. I quite like that. Fran, you can't stay in second homes as your caravan is classed as. Yeah, that was last week, Fran, but they've said other stuff now. So I don't know, really. Don't know. There you are. You can visit, but you can't stay overnight. That's how I understood it. But then there was this announcement yesterday, so we're not quite sure what's going on there, really. I tend to stay put. How are we doing on the likes? Can we show you these pictures yet? We need 20 likes to show you the pictures from Mick and Mandy. If not, it's no problem. We'll just carry them over tomorrow. We now have 20 likes. Thank you very much. Just say you were testing your eyesight, says Dave. Oh, I don't need to test my eyesight when I'm looking at pictures of you, Dave. You look particularly beautiful today. Eh? You see, the beauty of you, Dave, is the fact that the hairdressers are closed means nothing to you anyway, because you didn't bother, did you? Before that. All right, 2 pictures to show you this morning. Here we go. Mick has been sending in some pictures. Have a look at this. Oh, yes. These are the cream horns that Mick made yesterday. Now, he was a little bit concerned yesterday. I think... while we were doing the show yesterday, he had these in the oven and he wasn't happy with how they were turning out. I don't think there's anything wrong with those, Mick. Oh, I'd love to shove one of those up in my mouth. They look absolutely delicious. Yes, please. Yes, please. I do want some of that. There's my sister. Good morning, sis. Plenty of people at the car or on site of the caravan place. See? Thank you, Mick. They look absolutely delicious. Just imagine getting your tongue in that cream bit and licking that out and then munching away at the beautiful pastry. Yes, please, Mummy. And we've also got some cakes as made by Mandy yesterday. Oh, Claire, how many of those can we have on our Slimming World, Claire? Look. Oh, it's so long since I had a cake. Oh, yes, please. Thanks very much, you two. Beautiful pictures of those cakes there. Absolutely beautiful. If you've got anything to send in, please feel free, gang. Any pictures of anything that you're proud of or just you or whatever. I don't mind what it is. And if you've got a little story attached as well, send it there. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk and I'll pick those up and show them to you all. Mick says that's some cream horns that I made doing your show yesterday. Thank you, Sean. I've just received a picture from you as well this morning. Excellent. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for those. Look beautiful. They're not 100%. You're probably like me, Mick. Morning to John Parrish. He's in a caravan at the moment. Morning, John. And Mick says they're not 100%. I understand where you're coming from there, Mick, because I don't like to do anything. If I'll do something and I'll tell you if I don't think it was particularly good. Really. I've got to tell you, at the end, please don't come back to me with saying, oh, your shows are great or anything like that. I just want to say to you, whenever I finish a show, I'm never happy with how it's gone. Never. I thought, oh my God, that was awful. How did I get away with that? Seriously, I do. I think the problem is, Mick, that I just don't sing enough on this programme. That's what it is. Half a muffin only. They look delicious. We're only allowed half a muffin, apparently. There we are. Half a muffin only. That's all we're allowed. John says, what have I missed? Oh, come on, John. Nothing. Nothing at all. Right, let's see if we can find a version of Tie Yellow Ribbon, which we want to be sung today. I have to find a non-copyright version. Like someone like myself has played on a piano or something like that. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's see if we can come across there. There we are. Tie Yellow Ribbon. That one there. Let's try this. Nope, that's an original. Oh, what are you doing? I think it's a wire caught. I've got a wire over the keyboard and I keep pressing the wrong blooming thing there. Tie Yellow Ribbon. Cover. Oh, we usually cover piano. They're usually the easiest ones to find. Cover piano. Have we got one there? We've got one there. Let's have a little listen to this one first. See what this sounds like. That'll do. I'm coming home, I've done my time, and I've got to know what is or isn't mine. If you received a letter telling you I'd soon be free, if you still loved me, if you still loved me, I'll tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years, do you still want me? If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree. Bus driver, please look for me, 'cause I really couldn't bear to see what I might see. I'm really still in prison and my love, she holds a key. A simple yellow ribbon's what I need to set me free. I wrote and told her, please, I'll tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years, do you still want me? If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. There we are. There's a little song for you there this morning, Adam, as requested by the delightful Adam the plumber this morning, who paid for his song. People are paying me to sing now. That's twice that's happened now. You know, I've never been paid to sing. You know, today, the studios of United Kingdom Talk, who knows, I could even do smaller venues than this, like the Royal Albert Hall, Royal Festival Hall, somewhere like that. Perhaps you'd like to book me to appear at your fete. Perhaps one or two. Claire would be going to something like a little fete outside, Claire. Couldn't you, Claire? Have a little fete, you know, when you have your church fete or perhaps your annual dinner and dance. You could employ me to come and be the singing voice halfway through. I think that would be an excellent idea. I really do. Morning to Jerry Millen. Hello to you. Thank you, Jerry. Oh dear. Could I sing the theme to TVS? No, I can't. Yeah, all right then. Da 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 da. Let's see how well I got that one. We'll get away with that one with the TVS. There won't be any restriction on that, I wouldn't imagine. Especially now they're not here anymore. Poor son. They lost that, didn't they? They were only on to 10 years, weren't they, TVS? Here we are. Where is it now? Let's have TVS. TVS, dear. Oh, wonderful, dear. Wonderful. We like TV idents. Thank you very much, TV idents. Claire! Oh, my God. Another super chat from Claire this morning. That's 2 this week. 9 out of 10. Just a few problems with words. Yeah, I think I'm one of those people that needs the words in front of me. Let me give you 2 free super chat raffle tickets, Claire, for our bumper package this week. That will be good to done on Thursday. You can win the bunting, the brand new pen, the badge, and the Frey Bentos steak and gravy pie this week. That's what we're going to give away in our free Super Chatters raffle. And Claire has just sent me 2 Super Chats. So I'm going to give you 2 free raffle tickets, Claire. Look. 337 and 338. Thank you very much there. All right. Oh, Gary Butler. To not sing. Too late. I've already sung, Gary. My nephew started sending me money as well. Am I starting to look a bit poor? Is it... Are you kind of all saying that I need to buy some new shirts or jackets or something? Is that what it is? Here we are. Let's write those down. Excuse me. Here we are. 339, 340. Oh, wow. My asthma's kicking off a little bit today. Just a moment, my darling. One moment. That's better. The TV ident reminds me of the Anglia ident. It's nothing like the Anglia one, dear. Nothing like it. No, we'll put them back to back. Here we are. Here's Anglia. And here's TVS. Completely different Park Nest. I got them all here. I got them all here. £2 not to sing. How rude, Gary. Very disappointed with you. And after I've spent all that time risking my life and going into the post office yesterday to post T-shirts off to your children. Gary won the clock weeks and weeks ago. It's still sitting downstairs. He said, "Did you put that in a package?" I said, "No." Mike Reese-Ponto, he preferred Southern with the guitar. You're all here, dear. Got them all here, mate. Let's do another story here. Pubs. What could pubs look like when they reopen? Another story in the Daily Mirror this morning. A Manchester bar has unveiled what it's going to do to open safely. It's going to have temperature checks at the door. So as you come in, someone's going to take your temperature. Do they do it the same way as they take the temperature on cats and dogs and other animals? I hope they use a different thermometer for each person. Perspex screens, one-way systems, reduced menus, nominated table captains, and beer tap style hand sanitising stations. With this whole thing, there still seems to be the most talk about washing hands and touching things rather than spreading it through sneezes and things. It does seem to be, when they talk about this thing, it's the hand washing and not touching things that seems to be more than anything else. I saw something yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, that says, when you go shopping, when you, like, in a supermarket or something, or there's a new product there, and you pick it up and have a look. They're saying, don't do that. Don't touch anything unless you're going to buy it, because you could touch it, right? And someone else might have touched that. Now you've got it now. Although this new thing that's come out, that they're going to try and do tracing, aren't they? That new thing that's come out. And if you've not been within if you've been within 2 metres of someone for 15 minutes or more, then you need to tell someone. So, if that was the case, I was talking to my mate about this on the phone. You know, we don't spend more than 15 minutes in a shop or within 2 metres of anyone. So we'd have no chance whatsoever of getting it, if you see what I mean. Because they seem to be, you know, this 50, you've got to be with someone for 15 minutes. So how much of this stuff has to actually get in you to cause a problem? Do you know what I mean? It's very wishy-washy, isn't it? The instruction that we're getting, really. I mean, you kind of hear one thing and you think, okay. And then you hear something else and you're like, oh, well, don't know. Do you know what I mean? It says pubs in Britain in the Daily Mirror could be a far cry from their usual selves post-lockdown, with temperature checks at the door, screens separating tables, and no ordering at the bar. So table service. You can just imagine what... Hello, we're waiting. We've been sitting here. I'm like that in a restaurant. I can't stand it. Going to a restaurant and then having to wait half hour for someone to come over to you. The worst example of that was this place called the Rain Cafe. The Rain Cafe at Euro Disney. We were sitting there over an hour. I was with my nephew and his family. His wife went mad. We got all the drinks for free on the end. I should blooming well think so as well. We were starving by the time that food eventually arrived. Just dreadful. And the other place was the Chainbridge restaurant in Boston, which I've mentioned several times now. I'll never go back there again. And when it eventually came, there was hardly any chips. Where's the chips? Oh, that's the portion. Well, won't be coming back there then, mate, will we? Don't go there. The Chainbridge in Boston. Have you been there, Rachel? Horrendous. And honestly, there was all these members of staff having lunch while people were waiting. Oh, it's our break. Oh, if that was my restaurant, you will serve those people. And then, when we get a gap, you'll have your blooming lunch then. Customers come first. Pubs in Britain could be far cry. Temperature checks at the door, screens separating tables and no orders at the bar. Industry chiefs warn some boozers risk being lost forever. What do you mean some? I think a lot. I think a lot of them are just going to never reopen again. And I don't know what's going to happen with I have a dreadful feeling the karaoke is done. I haven't spoken to anyone about this. My manager, Guy, we've been sort of shoving a few ideas across the table, sort of, you know, over Facebook and that. But I have this feeling that the karaoke and other entertainment DJing jobs, I think they're done. I can't see this happening with all this other stuff. Under current plans, pubs, hotels and restaurants will remain closed at least until July the 4th, but this could soon change. They're waiting for the green light. Pubs are looking at ways of making their premises safe. So Wetherspoons said it will spend £11 million making its 875 pubs secure. I mean, I don't know how much £11 million is to a company like Wetherspoons. Is it like saying perhaps to you, you know, like, okay, well, we've got to do this. It's going to cost you £1. That'd be okay, wouldn't it? I'm sure you could afford £1 to do stuff. Maybe £11 million to a company like Wetherspoons is the same as me saying, okay, it's going to cost you £1. Maybe they don't notice £11 million. We don't know, do we? Don't know. Wetherspoons says the chain will each hire 2 full-time workers to regularly clean surfaces and touchpads. What's that say? And touch points throughout, with more employed in larger pubs. Manchester bar Albert Schloss, meanwhile, revealed the measures it's putting in place to keep staff, customers and performers safe when it's permitted to reopen. The popular pub has installed perspex screens between booths and at the bar, introduced a one-way system, removed tables and cut down its menu. That's reported in the Manchester Evening News. The maximum capacity will be significantly reduced too, in order to ensure safe distancing can occur. Guests will be. You see, I don't know how this is going to work. Mainly with the younger people, they all like to be in one massive group, going mad and all that, don't they? No, it's all very well saying, "Oh, you mustn't touch anyone." Well, what about when they want to kiss someone and touch? You know, those younger people, they get all these urges, don't they? You know what I mean? Without me having to spell it out for you, you know what I mean. How is? I just feel sorry. Really, I feel really sorry for the young people. Really sorry. They may never experience the raves that we had in the 90s and the 2000s. Going to a club with all those hot, sweaty bodies. I wouldn't dream of going anywhere like that now. But you know how it is when you're young and you want to go to these places and get out your head and be dancing away and snogging everyone and close contact and all that business. Will they not be able to do any of that? It says guests will be greeted outside by a sign displaying house rules, HAUS, I don't know what that means, a marked out queuing system and a beer tap style hand sanitising station. Before being seated or served, customers will also face temperature screening, which alerts staff to anyone with an elevated temperature. If staff suspect anyone on site is unwell, customer or otherwise, they will be asked to leave and seek medical attention. The pub will reduce and rotate the number of staff working to keep the number of people on site to a minimum, and has appointed a COVID officer who will be responsible for ensuring strict hygiene measures are adhered to. The customer experience will be very different too. Diners can either order and pay for their food through an app, like sitting at the table, or nominate what they are saying is a table captain who will be given a disposable paper menu and a pencil to fill out the party's orders. It's then up to customers to decide how they'd like to receive their food and drinks at designated collection points around the dining area or straight to the table as normal. Utensils and condiments are to be sanitised thoroughly between each customer, and staff will undergo thorough hand washing every 20 minutes. Wow. It comes after trade body UK Hospitality put forward potential guidelines in a 75-page draft document with proposals including condiments that would not be left on tables, with individually wrapped sauces and condiments handed out by staff on request. Staff would also need to bring cutlery with customers' food rather than leave them on tables or allow customers to help themselves. They're extensively looking at, top marks, this pub for trying to do all this, absolutely. Tables would be spaced to meet social distancing guidelines, and urinals could be separated with screens or removed altogether. I've never liked those urinals. Dirty, disgusting things, standing there next to everyone else doing the same thing. Awful. Smoking area patrols could be introduced as well. So, top marks for doing all that. But would it stop you going in? Would you want to go somewhere like that? With all those things like that? What would be the point? You could only go kind of with people you know, couldn't you? I don't suppose you'd ever meet anyone again at a bar because you couldn't get close to them. How could you, chat someone up at the bar? I've been waiting for years for someone to chat me up at the bar. It's not happened yet, but I'm still hopeful. Not anymore. Not anymore. You'd have to know the people, wouldn't you? I don't know, really. Thanks very much to Peter Wright, a £2 super chat because he joined the show late. Peter. Peter feels the need to apologise when he joins the show, don't you, Peter? Thanks very much, Peter. 341 and 342 for Peter there. Let me give you a couple of free raffle tickets, Peter, for your super chats. Thank you very much. 341 and 342 for Peter there. Okay. Peter, I noticed you just sent a text there saying I sent you a super chat. You don't need to do that. If I'm doing a story, I don't look at the chat screen because otherwise you'd never get to the end of the story. Do you understand? So that's why that happens. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit for me to come back to the chat if I'm doing a story. Otherwise, we just don't get to the end of it. It's just constantly interrupted. All right. Mick's offered to send £100 to banish Manilow from your life forever. I'm sorry, I can't accept that, Mick. That's not going to happen, I'm afraid, my sir. It's not going to happen, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. You cannot take Manila out of my life. I mean, what a sad, lonely life that would be. It really would. Thank you. Mike, as a kid, I traced all the ITV idents on a piece of A4 paper and stuck them all on my bedroom wall. How geeky. Did you do the London Weekend one with 3 different coloured pens, Mike? Dave, no one wants to trace you. How rude. Did you do the thing with the 3 coloured pens, Mike? Oh, dear. Morning to Dave-O this morning. Good morning to you. Pubs will last to open because alcohol makes people crazy. I think we all know that, Dave, don't we? Oh, my God, we all know that. The times I've seen that in a pub. So suddenly a fight breaks out, usually over a girl or someone's nicked someone's drink. It never happens in gay pubs. You know, if someone nicks your boyfriend in there, you just go and find another one. It don't happen in gay pubs. We don't fight over someone else's other half. Oh, okay, then we'll get someone else. Not with the girls. Not with the lesbians. Oh, my God. You're looking at my bird? You look... Bang! That's it. Seriously. Great fun. The Black Cat was well known for its lesbian fights, where I DJ'd for so long. I loved it in there. And once you get on the same right side with the lesbians, that's it. You're safe, mate. No one's going to attack you. Certainly not. What was the particular girl I really liked? Lorraine. She's got to be in her 70s now because she was older than me then. I liked her so much. She'd come up and stand next to me. Great big girl. She was like this. Wonderful Lorraine. Yeah, I don't know what happened to her. I think she was in and out of prison a few times as well. But she was great, Lorraine. Peter Paliwoda, very good morning to you. Only a white man would make a fire for all to see. Name the film from the quote. What is that? Don't know. There's a question from Peter there. Could use that on the quiz, couldn't we? A tester. Name the film from the quote. Only a white man would make a fire for all to see. Don't know. No idea what that would be there. Is it Dance with the Wolves, says Mandy? Could it be that? Could be that. All right. Good. Another story here. What is the one... Here, I'll ask you first before I do that story, and I'll do another story in between. What is the one place... Okay, think about this one. What is the one place that you are not looking forward to reopening? Anywhere at all? Have a think. All these places reopening slowly. We've got the DIY places are open with massive queues. Every time I go past Wix or Homebase, there's these queues. Well, the people must be standing there hour, 2 hours trying to get into these shops. Do not go to a DIY place. Get it delivered. Oh, mind you saying that, I tried to get some earth, some soil delivered, and a lot of the places, no delivery at the moment. So I don't know how that's going to work. I think you can do a click and collect. I think the click and collect queue is a different one, though. I might ring them up, actually, and ask. I need a great big bag of earth. I've run out of earth. But what is the one place that you're not looking forward to reopening? Shove it up in the text box and we'll have a look there. I'll have a look in a moment at what you're saying now and read the story. But meanwhile, in the Sun this morning, the new Windows update, number 10. Have you noticed it yet? Do not install it. Cancel. Don't install it. In the Sun this morning, Microsoft has warned Windows 10 users not to install the latest update as it's plagued by bugs. Do you remember I had the problem with the bingo this week? Do you remember that? I said to you, I think it was one of the cleaner programs that has accidentally removed a file. I'm not so sure now after seeing this story. Microsoft, the tech giant in the Sun, has published an extensive list of issues that are affecting the new update. Windows 10 regularly receives updates, adding new features and fixing old bugs. But updates often introduce new problems, and some updates are worse than others. Now, the new version of Windows 10 is causing headaches for some users. It says version 2004. A Microsoft supports that page lists at least 10 different bugs known to exist in the new Windows update, and they're serious enough to warrant delaying the update. It says, we recommend, this is Windows, we recommend that you do not attempt to manually update using the Update Now button or the Media Creation tool, I don't know what that is, until this issue has been resolved, Microsoft has warned. Of course, many users have their Windows 10 software to set to update automatically, so it may already be too late for some. Now, I did one of these last week. And then I couldn't send the emails out for the bingo tickets. It was a nightmare. And I was pulling. You don't know how long. Sunday, I was up early Sunday, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, I thought I'll send out the first lot of bingo tickets. Hit the button, and it come back with some error message. Something was corrupt or missing. And I thought, oh no, you must be joking. So that was at 8 o'clock in the morning. At about 2 o'clock, I managed to start sending them out. Eventually, I found the way to go to a restore point or something like that, and I managed to restore that. 6 hours I was on that, and I think it might have been this, not the CCleaner program at all. It says one issue relates to connecting multiple Bluetooth devices, another causes errors when updating various software or drivers, which would be where I was coming from. There's also problems with Intel GPUs, I don't know what they are, errors caused by unplugging certain Thunderbolt devices, don't know what that is, and also issues with mouse input while gaming, so I don't do gaming. Some users may get on fine with the new update and not experiencing any of these issues, but others may have a rough time with many of the errors. So be very careful on that. They're saying don't install the latest Windows update at the moment. All right? Better be safe than sorry on that one. Better be safe on than sorry. Rachel's quite right. It does seem like a big dream, like a nightmare, all this COVID thing, doesn't it? It really does. Let's see. Betting offices. Are you a little bit in the old betting office? Do you lose a lot of money in the betting offices, Andy? Eh? Are you in there often? I only go in once a year for the Eurovision Song Contest. How sad is that? But last time I won £400 once. That was when they did Rise Like a Phoenix. I was convinced that would win, and it did, and I got £400 for that. I put £100 on. I know it's a lot. I've never ever put a bet on like that. £100 and I got 400 back, so that was all right. And ever since then, I've been trying to win again, and it hasn't happened. Last year, I put various bets on different songs. None of them came in. Not £100 worth, no. Like a couple of quid here and a couple of quid there, though. Do you go in betting offices then? Rachel's looking forward to car boots and charity shops reopening. Car boot sales, my nephew goes to those. He gets loads of stuff from there and does it up, repairs things that are broken, cleans them all up and sells them on for a profit, which is a nice little business going there. Dave's not looking forward to his ex-wife's legs. I won't queue at a DIY place, Peter. You must be joking, mate. You must be joking. What are we saying there? Anyone mention what they didn't want to open there? That's what we were talking about, wasn't it? Fran was in B&Q this morning. Came home with nothing. Was going to buy hanging baskets, but no bed implants. Really? In B&Q? That's unusual. Did you get there early, Fran? You must have been there ever so early, my love. I thought the early... Do they not have an early thing for older people? Is it plus 60? I can't remember how old you are. You're not 60, are you, Fran? Are you even 50? I don't know. But I know the supermarkets, they have the first hour or something for older people, don't they? Not elderly, older. Yeah. Mike's got Apple, Mac and PC. Doesn't suffer from problem updates, really. £10 England to win 1,000 to 1. Yeah, you'll be lucky. Andy doesn't just goes near them, Chris, drinking and smoking outside. Even got mugged outside a betting shop once, so he avoids them. How awful. Car boots are open this weekend in Lincolnshire. There we go. Wow. Okay. Well, here's the story. Again in the Sun this morning. From the June the 8th, the one place that you didn't want to open will be allowed to open again. Dentists. That has sent the fear going into you, isn't it? The word dentist. It's got a nasty ring to it, isn't it? Like murder. Dentist. Dentists in England have been given a date to reopen to patients as lockdown restrictions are gradually relaxed. The Chief Dentistry Officer for England said today that dental services can resume on Monday, June the 8th. And when you think about it, certainly my dentist, Mo the dentist, who's a very, very efficient, nice man. Whenever I go in there, he's got the whole, he's got the thing around his mouth like that. And he's also got these shields. I like the shields. I really like the shields. Now, is a shield all right on its own? Because that's not over your mouth, is it? You know what I mean? And when you finish with a shield, that must be a fairly easy thing. To take it off, spray the bleach on the front there, wipe it down and leave it in the sun for a while. Can you get away with just a shield? Now, I think those little droplets that are flying in the air are heavier than the air, so they fall downwards, don't they? So it makes sense to me that if a shield is around here and it's down there, maybe, let's have a look at that picture, sort of kind of just below the chin there, then the virus doesn't go up, does it? Do you see what I mean? Doesn't go up. So surely one of those shields would do it. Everyone had a reusable shield like that. God knows how you'd kiss someone. You know. How'd you get your tongue in the mouth? Oh, can't get your tongue in the mouth, can you? It says treatments including routine fillings. I mean, if anyone's had a toothache recently, God, my heart goes out to you. Oh my God, that must have been a nightmare. No one to do ya, is there? Treatments include routine fillings, root canals, scaling and polishing will completely stop when the country went to lockdown. The only exception was if a patient had a serious medical emergency or dental cause. Many patients have resorted to doing their own DIY dental work at home, while other practices have also warned they could face bankruptcy if the closure continues for any longer. But as the Prime Minister announced all 5 tests have been met today, the CDO... Who's the CDO? Oh, why do they do that? Oh, Chief Dentistry Officer. Do you know, don't you hate that when they abbreviate things and you think, well, what's that then? Had been met. Dentists will be able to return to work in just over a week. So there we are. And Miss Hurley-Word staff would need to have all of the protective personal equipment, PPE, in place before they can start treating patients. And of course, you know, I mean, dentists are very good at sterilising their stuff. They've got those machines, various disinfectants, and I've never ever in my entire life gone into a dentist that looks dirty. They've been doing this for years anyway. I would imagine that they haven't got to make any differences at all in restrictions other than in the waiting room. You know, sometimes you're in a waiting room at a doctor's or all these waiting rooms I think are going to disappear. If you want to go somewhere, you're going to have to sit in your car or something until it's your turn. Which is not a bad thing, is it? How many times you've been in a doctor's... a tissue... and all the little children running around, picking up the toys and leaving them scattered all over the floor. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore because there won't be a waiting room in a doctor. I think that's a good thing. So your appointment is 11 o'clock. Now, it always amazes me when someone's got an appointment at 11 o'clock... They turn up at 10 past 11. I'm really sorry I was late. And then they are so surprised that they can't be seen. Or what do you want to do? Hold all the appointments up for the rest of the day just because you couldn't get there on time? I don't think so. It's all very well you say, oh, it's only 10 minutes, so that's 10 minutes. The next one's now going to be 10 minutes late. And what if they're late? Then the one after that is going to be 15 minutes. And so it accumulates. No, your appointment was 11 o'clock. Either turn up at 11 o'clock or change the appointment. Don't you think? My mate's like that. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with turning up somewhere 5 minutes late. 10 minutes late. The next day, possibly. I know I'm a day late, but can I see the doctor? No, you can't. I'm one of those people that's there far too early, you know, so I wouldn't be able to get... I'd have to sit in the car or stand outside. Waiting rooms won't be around, will they? I'm sure they won't. Anyway, so it's the dentist. That is the one place I'm so disappointed to have to report. I'm sorry to bring the entire excitement of the show down today, but that is the one thing that I'm not looking forward to reopening, the dentist. How awful. Good morning to Paul Adamson today. Hello to you, sir. Paul loves the dentist. Nice, clean teeth. Admittedly, yes, Paul. When you come out of that dentist, the last thing they do is like polish it all and all that business, isn't it? When you come out of there, if you just wash your mouth out and you've got that pink or blue stuff next to you, spit it into that little thing that goes where the sort of mini sink that they've got that you hold, a mini sink with suction coming out of it. And then you leave that and you feel your teeth. It's all nice. And what do? You go straight into Greggs and buy a pasty. It's true. I do the same. There's a Greggs near my doctor's, near my dentist, which is in Bracknell Town Centre. I go, that's lovely now. What's the time? Oh, I just go and get a vegan sausage roll. Followed by a little cup of tomato soup. Perhaps a sandwich as well. I don't suppose you'll be able to sit in those places. I haven't had Greggs or anything like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know where all this is going. It's just dreadful. Monday for what? Monday the what for Chris? What did I say? The dent? Oh, I've lost the... I can't remember the... I think it was it July? What was the date of the dentist? Anyone paying attention then? Can't remember there. Mike's got a dentist appointment on the 5th of June. I'll have to go now. Either that, Mike, or you're very lucky, Mike. You know, because you can just send your teeth in, can't you? You haven't actually got to go to the dentist. There's a few people on here who are very lucky. They don't have to actually go to the dentist. They can just send their teeth in. My sister's the same. She can just send her teeth in a little box. They do special boxes for teeth. Sean doesn't understand boot sales. I've been to loads of boot sales. I spent ages looking for boots. I couldn't find any. Jason, I'm in entire agreement with you there. There will be another wave. I won't be changing anything I do for the moment, other than if I can go to the caravan. But I won't be changing anything else. I'll still put my mask on in shop. I was the only one in... Actually, me and my mate, we were the only ones in Lidl the other day, or Aldi, with masks on. No one else was bothering. And we'd seen more and more people walking around, and suddenly no one's got them on. Don't be complacent. Don't be complacent. You know, I have to say, if you're one of those people that doesn't believe anything like this is really happening, I do respect your opinion, but I won't agree with it, you know. Dentist appointment 2:30. Let's have a look. Adam, I bought a shield from eBay, $1.95, totally reusable, and you don't get all the spots around your face from wearing the mask I normally have my United Kingdom talk mask on at all times. Thank you, Adam. Even if there's no more virus and it dies out tomorrow, please continue to wear your new United Kingdom talk mask. You're after the bunting, aren't you, Adam? Are you after the bunting, darling? You might win. You've bought some tickets. You might win next week. Well, you haven't bought tickets. You've sent tips and I've given you free tickets. Must say that. Very important for me to say that. I think those masks are quite good there. B&Q let me stay the night. Age-related. Heidi, not sure if you're still live. Yes, I'm still here. I've heard people coming and going from the site like it's open. I'm like you, Chris. I do things by the book. I'm surprised as all the sites are closed. They're not all closed, Heidi. Certainly the big ones are. Some of the little family ones, like the one that we're lucky enough to be on, are indeed open for self-isolation. I would have to do things by the book anyway, Heidi. There will be someone watching this. It's sad to say this, but it's true. There'd be someone watching this, probably quietly. Maybe someone not in the chat box, but you know what people are like. They like to make difficulty for people, and I'd probably be reported by someone on here now. You know, so I have to be extra careful. You know how people are. That's just how it is. Park Nest, the last time I went to the doctors, I made damn sure I kept the appointment and was there in good time. I do that all the time. Park Nest, I go to a hospital twice a year. And if the appointment's for 12, I'm likely to be there at 11. Seriously, that's how early I am for doctors, NHS appointments. You know, I don't want to waste. I know how much things cost in the NHS. It's disgusting that people could think they can just turn up whenever they feel like it. Oh, I've got an appointment at 11. What's the time now? 5 to... Oh, I'll leave at 11. I'll be there by 10 past. That'd be okay. No, it won't. That won't be okay. How rude are you? Who the hell do you think you are? Because it wouldn't be like that if you had to pay, would it? If you had to pay, like, I don't know, £10 to go and see your doctor, and if you weren't there at 11, you lost that £10, you'd be there at 11 o'clock. It's because it's free. That's why. It's because it's free. Rachel needs to go to the dentist. She's got 2 broken teeth. Oh, she lost 2 front teeth. They are false, all due to her Crohn's that she's got. I look like a witch without them in. You look like a witch with them in, to be honest, Rachel. I hope you don't mind me saying that, my love. Good morning to Roy Brownlow there. Who else there? Joy, Roy, Sean, Dave. Nearly 2 hours now. We tends to be a 2-hour show now. We might build up to 3 hours yet, I think. 3 hours, perhaps. I don't know. More technology news this morning. I always like a technology story. In this morning's Metro, which I think is a London paper, plans for the UK's largest solar farm have been given the green light for 900 acres of farmland on the Kent coast. Wow. I've got solar panels up here. I've had them about 15 years now. I've got dirt cheap electricity bills I get here, especially in the summer. Barely anything. Like, I'll probably get a bill. I don't know if I think my bill should have come now. Let me have a look. They're going to tell you what my latest electricity bill is, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, all this stuff in here is all electric, you know. So we'll see what that says. I reckon my latest bill will be here now, because I sent my thing in 22nd of May. Yes, it is. Here we go. Right, hang on. Electricity bill for the month. Oh, a little bit more than I thought it would be. £38.49 for the month. That's not bad, is it? £10 a week. Gas, £5.87. Only a fiver for the gas. We haven't been using any gas, have we, really? It's just... that's how it is. £44.36. £38.49 for my electricity in a month. That's not bad, is it, eh? What's yours? What was your latest bill as a matter of interest? Government spokesman has said the decision to grant consent for the Cleve Hill Solar Park was taken after careful consideration. Solar power has a capacity to play an important role in the UK, ending its contribution to climate change by 2050. It will help power nearly 100,000 homes, making it a world-leading solar and storage project. So they've got batteries there as well, because I think they can store. The biggest problem with renewable energy is that you can't store it. It's been very difficult to store it. You know, batteries are very limited to what they can do. But the battery technology, as you know, has come on a long, long way now. A long, long way. I don't get the best out of my solar because I'm a west-facing roof here. If it was south-facing, I doubt that I'd be paying anything. And now you can get these different battery storage devices of not that cheap. They're about £4,000 or £5,000, I think, for the Tesla power wall, and there are other brands available as well as that, which perhaps are not as expensive. But these things, you have them installed on a wall in your house, and during the day when you're making more electricity than you need, they will store that, and then you can draw it off at night. That might be that, for me, something like that is not... I mean, I don't know. I mean, because I'm west-facing, I'm not getting so much sun, so that might not be a thing for me. But nevertheless, I would imagine that drawing that up on a larger scale, if you get like a solar farm, the batteries, they've got batteries for those now as well, perhaps. Developments on the Thames estuary also said to hold one of the world's largest energy storing facilities, dwarfing the lithium-ion battery built by Tesla's Elon Musk in South Australia by 3 times. I didn't know that. Wow. So you're going to have a big battery storage thing there. Electricity will be sent to the nearby London Array substation, which also receives power from offshore wind farms. And I love stories like that. I absolutely love stories like that. When I'm talking about solar and windmills. If I could have a windmill here, I'd have one of those as well. I did ask at the caravan site whether we're allowed solar panels, and we're not allowed them there. I don't know if... have you got any solar panels where you are, John, if you're still with us? John Parrish. Not sure about that. Have I missed something, Mandy? What did I miss there? Peter, I won't snitch on you, Chris. Someone would do here. I absolutely, not necessarily someone in the chat box, someone would absolutely say, hang on a minute, that Chris, let's get him into trouble. That'd be fun. Honestly, that's what would happen. Do you want your brain read? Do you want your brain read? What are you thinking? In the Daily Mail today, as you lie sedated on the hospital bed, a robot's arm reaches out to touch the side of your head. Some of you, it'll be the only touching you've had for some time. Me too. Suddenly, a sharp beam of light springs out of its finger as it starts to drill into your skull with an intense lasered beam. The operation is relatively quick and painless, and when you walk out of the room later that day, you don't feel slightly different in the slightest. But if it weren't for the fact that you can now not only play video games or move a computer mouse, but even communicate with others by simply using your thoughts, you might not even realise that a tiny microchip has just been implanted into your skull. Astonishing develops in neuroscience are set to transform our understanding of the human mind, not only giving us an ability to read our thought processes, but even to supercharge them by linking them to computers. Is this proof that man and machine really can reach a perfect symbiosis? Do you want a Microsoft chip in your head? Don't know about that. Or is it a terrifying technological nightmare finally come to fruition? On paper, the latest breakthrough by scientists at the Kernel Neurotechnology Company in California certainly doesn't sound that alarming. Last week it announced it had devised a helmet which can see and record brain activity. Of the 2 brain monitoring devices Kernel has created, the first, called Flux, monitors electromagnetic activity, while the second, Flow, measured blood movement by pulsing the brain with light. And they will be able to analyse neutrons. And I do wonder sometimes, how far are we along the thing of it being able to perhaps read minds or something like that? Bit scary, isn't it? Very, very scary. Very, very scary. Very, very scary. Do you fancy having your brain read like that, attached to some sort of machine? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen to me. I don't want my brain read. Let's do today's raffle ticket, shall we, boys? If you want a raffle ticket, please ask now. While you're asking, I'll just read out one more story for you today. A woman was saved for death. We always go on about these breast implants and things like that, and how some people go so over the top. Well, this woman's glad she did. In this morning's Sky News, a woman was saved from death by her breast implants after they deflected a bullet when she was shot in the chest, experts have said. The lady's 30 years old, she's not been named, was walking down the street in Canada when she was shot. She only realised she's been shot when she felt heat and pain in her chest and saw blood when she looked down. The victim was treated at a hospital where she had her implant removed. The report added the only additional injuries she had was a fractured rib. During surgery, surgeons removed the woman's left breast implant and found a bullet tract, which aligned with the entry wound, but no bullets. They later examined the right implant and found it had been flipped upside down, and the dome of the implant was damaged, and the bullet was located beneath the woman's right breast in her chest. So there we go. You don't need to be buying these bulletproof jackets or anything like that, boys and girls. Do you? Just have breast implants. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I was looking at myself in the mirror yesterday, which I don't do often, to be honest. I really don't. And I think I've got them now. You know, I mean, I quite like the feel. Don't mind me saying so. I'm not straight in any way, shape or form. But I do quite like the feel of my own breasts. I like to have a little feel. Can anyone else do that? Do you like that? Anyone else? That does feel quite nice to me. That does, admittedly. You know. Maureen. Gosh, £300 for gas and electric, 3 monthly bill from EDF. Oh, is that £300 for 3 months? So about £100 a month for you, is it? Gosh, isn't it dear? Right, let's do these raffle tickets. Maureen, 451 for Maureen on the text. If you've sent in your raffle ticket request by email, I'll deal with that straight after the show for you there, okay? Where are we now? Let's just scroll up there. Peter got solar panels in 2012, August. Just about all square now. Excellent. And are you pleased with the results there, Peter? May I ask what your usual electricity bill is? Of course, it does change during the summer and the winter, doesn't it? It's going right down now. In the winter, it goes up a little bit. Are you south-facing as well, Peter? One of the best investments I ever made was solar panels. If you've ever got a little bit of spare cash hanging around, as I had 15 years ago, when I was like, you know, doing all the DJing and all that, then solar panels is a very good opportunity for you to save an absolute fortune over the years. It really is. Sean says they can read my brain if they like. It will say Greg's cider, Greg's cider, Greg's cider. I've no problem with Greg's at all, Sean. I like Greg's. Tony King, 452 for you, Tony. Thank you. Jason Hughes, 453. This is for the fridge magnet on Monday, okay? Jason Hughes. Roy Brownlow, 454. Fran Green, 455. Peter Wright, 457. Oh, sorry, I've gone down a number there, haven't I? Let's go back up one. Andy, 456. Scroll down there. Okay, David, then I'll deal with that after the show, right, David? Oh, I do the tickets immediately after the show. As soon as I've finished, I'll do the email tickets as well. Just a reminder, gang, you can only claim a raffle ticket while we're actually on stream, okay? All right, as soon as the show finishes, no more tickets. Otherwise, it just goes on and on all day long. Andy, David. Paul Adamson, 458 for our friend in Amsterdam. I put you down as Peter then for some reason. Paul, now I put Peter again. Paul Adamson, 458 for you, Peter. Paul Adamson, 458. Ross Herndine, 459. Sean Pye, 460. Rachel, 461. Queen of TikTok is Rachel. Where are we now? Heidi, 462. 462 for Heidi. Colin K, 463. Michael Lawrence, 464. Diane Jeb, 465. I keep misspelling people's names today. Isn't that funny? Wrong letters in the wrong place. Shania, 466. Yeah, Rachel, I knew it. Now you know why I keep frogs in the garden. Us witches like using frogs' legs and eyes. All right. Have we done Peter's one? There we are. Peter Paliwoda, 467. Is anyone else want a ticket there? Please speak now. Once again, gang, if you've asked by email, I deal with your tickets straight away after. Okay? Is there anyone? Have I missed anyone out? Please speak now if I've missed anyone. While you're deciding whether I've missed you out or not, let's do today's birthdays. Happy birthday on this Friday, the 29th of May, 2022. How many we got today? Let's have a little look there. Only 3 today. Callum Walker. Good morning, Callum. A young 20 years old today. Happy birthday to Callum. All right. Stephen Cousins today is a young 65 years old. Happy birthday to you, Stephen. And Tom Millington. That's wrong. I thought that was on yesterday's birthday list, Tom Millington. How strange. Tom Millington's birthday today. He is 41 years old today. Happy birthday, everyone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Okay, another couple of tickets coming out there. Claire, you got ticket number 468 today, Claire, for 468 today. And Amelia Dodd gets ticket number 469. Park Nest, are you dyslexic, Chris? With numbers, yes. I am with numbers. Sometimes I change the numbers around somehow in my head. I don't know why that happens. So, yes, slightly. Joey Millen wants a ticket, 470 for you, Joey. And John Aitken wants a ticket as well. Thank you, John. John's ticket is number 471. Good. There's no more text for tickets, sorry. 471 for John Aitken. Lovely, jubbly. All right, gang, that's it for the show today. Thanks very much for joining us. Have a lovely day. I shall go for my usual long walk. Hope to put my tiles up on the wall. So if I put them up, I'll do that. I keep meaning to video the shed repair for, I think it was Jason asked for. Oh, Adam, 472 for you, Adam. Adam the plumber, 472. So I'll try and remember to do that this afternoon. I've got a bit of time to spend this afternoon doing bits and pieces. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you those of you that sent a tip as well for us on this morning's show. And I'll see you tomorrow, right about the same time. Have a pleasant day. Bye-bye now.